We're going to start now. We're going to start now. And I'd like to welcome all of you for actually being a live audience. We just it's so novel. It really is. This project has been a long time in the making and lots of conversations. And thank you for coming to this space as we continue to create and continue to collaborate. We're just in the first stages of that, really. Well, maybe we don't call it first, Andrew. I don't know. The second, and then maybe there's 3, 4, 5. So I'd love to do some introductions, and then we're going to start with a song that Walter will play. But I'm going to first introduce our creative lead here, Andrew Balfour, composer. We've had a chance to sing Andrew's music a few different times over the last few years, and it's great to have spent more time together and a chance to commission a new work. We're also performing a number of his pieces on the first half. Then to my right here, Jessica McMann on bass flute, everybody. It's exotic, it's true. The one thing you need to know today is that the instrument will be amplified, so your sense of the balance will not be correct today in this environment right now. So it will be amplified, and it will add a whole other dimension too. And then finally, Walter MacDonald White Bear, please. And maybe later on he can tell you something about that, but Walter's going to welcome you all with the song. And us all. Yeah.
Okay, so my full name is Walter MacDonald White Bear. Wabas Muskwa is my spirit name. I'm very honored to be here this afternoon. The song I'm about to share with you is gifted by my elder, Marion Larat, and it was her great-grandfather's song. When I asked her about, well, how old is it, and she doesn't know, so it could be potentially passed down to him. So it's not older than Tim. Anyway, this is called a helping song.
Thank you, Walter. Andrew, I don't know would you care to please tell us, maybe the audience, a little bit about this collaboration? I'd love for you to talk off the top. I mean, I can talk too, but if you want me to fill in anything, let me know.
Sure. Bonjour. My name is Andrew Balfour, and I come from, my blood comes from Cree Fisher First Nations, but I'm a 60 scooper, so I was born and raised in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Treaty 1 territory, the land of the Ojibwe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dene, Inuit. But I currently live in Toronto, settler name, the land of the Mississauga and the Dishes One Spoon Treaty territory. And it's an absolute honor to be here and to work with. I've been kind of thinking about this the last couple of days. Surely, if not the best, but certainly one of the top chamber choirs in the country. It's incredible. You're very lucky to have this ensemble here, led by Kim Chance, because it's really extraordinary what's been happening here in the spirit of reconciliation and creativity and respect and honor. This wouldn't have been happening 50 years ago. And I can't believe, the journey, Ispiciwin, has been remarkable. I met Tim, I feel like I've known him all my life, but it actually hasn't been that long. And we've been talking right away about doing a collaboration. As Tim mentioned, they've done a couple of my pieces before, And just when these things happen, it just naturally start talking about collaborating and commissioning, and this has certainly been a crazy 2 years. But what's got me through this last little while is the idea of one day we'll be doing this in the same room, and we will be making new music and adding new important works to the Canadian choral repertoire, and diversifying and decolonizing music and making it accessible for all. And I really appreciate what the singers and Tim and the organization of Luminous Voices have been doing. It's kind of groundbreaking. I'm very proud to be part of this. So this piece it's in the works, as you'll see. It's still being tweaked and adding new things, and this is the way we do things when you're collaborating. At least this is the way I do things, and there's not too many conductors I could work with that has the flexibility and gracefulness as Tim. And also being able to work with Jessica and Walter, who I've known for a few years, is kind of a dream come true, and this is only a start of something. It's only going to keep on going and building. So, Chi Miigwech for coming and listening and watching this creative process.
Chi Miigwech Andrew, I have to say, please. He did this to me on the radio too. He talked about me, and I was like, no, okay. So we have to just give back by saying, Andrew's a very important person in the choral world, and it's actually pretty amazing that we've had the opportunity to do this kind of time in collaboration with Andrew. As a composer, sometimes, and as a creative person, you don't realize the gifts that you offer, and you don't realize the potential that has to make an effect. But we were talking about this last night. One simple piece of Andrew's where a composer writes it and doesn't necessarily say this is my opus, this is the one, but his Umbe has become really a gift and an opening space for many different people to interact and sing in choirs Indigenous music. And it's a song that he wrote for choir because Andrew grew up in this choral tradition. And Andrew sort of has these wonderful elements to who he is that he can, in a way, bridge gaps too. And I want to thank you for that gift, Andrew, Umbe, because it really is a welcoming song. And we're starting our concert again with that piece, which is meant for all people. And it's really in a wonderfully giving spirit. So thank you, Andrew, for that. Now, that sets the stage for this piece of music. We're going to do a little bit of the third movement again. So this is we were calling the movement sections, whatever you want to talk through. This is the third section of Ispiciwin, which, as Andrew said, is it's journey. That's the word in English. And we've just been playing with some things. And Walter, can we do a lead in again? Yeah. And then the lead in, Jessica, let's segue, and I'll give you whatever time you think is right to starting. And maybe I'll say, Andrew, that Andrew's he didn't want to write sort of it's not a narrative. There's Cree words that are in the music, and we cycle through different words. So the words we sing in this last movement, Kiana is us, Kakiku is crow, Wanisinoin, the act of losing one's path or way. Ispiciwin, journey, that's the title of the entire work. And then, Kiwatani, eagle feather. Eagle feather being quite significant here. So, enjoy what you hear, everyone. Andrew.
Yeah, it's so it's going along so beautifully. There's a section in here that I think that actually it's really very extraordinary. What was I going to say? I think that the kiwatani, the eagle feather, could actually be a bit bigger.
Uh-huh.
I think it actually could have a, you can start forte, but really crescendo.
Yeah.
Do a fermata on bar 63.
Great.
And I'm starting to think now that maybe, just for my ear settling down, is that, so if we do the ending twice, going back to the B natural, against the A sharp, is that I don't mind that held while she does that repetitive, maybe 4 times, but maybe just at the end, everybody, we've resolved it.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Because it was just naturally, I think, from the singer.
So maybe once she hits the last note. Yeah, and then we could resolve with the last note.
Yeah, I think it sounds a little bit more calming.
Yeah, great. So that's both for T2 and S1.
Yeah.
That will resolve. Then maybe we'll just plan that we do that, and then maybe 4 more times, as you said, yeah? 4 more times, vamping that. Those last 2 measures, yeah. Great. Could we start then? Try everyone from 61. Andrew, can you say this word for us again?
Well, I'm going to do it the way that I learned it, but I'd like to go back to Cheryl once you get to tomorrow. But Giwatani.
Just say it, everyone.
Giwatani.
Jessica, do you know this word? Okay.
Giwatani. So let's begin there. This is measure 61. So that last one will resolve. What's that?
I think I inverted it.
Yeah, okay.
And I think that really, again, going back to so nice because it's early on, you can even elongate the ends.
Yeah. Long time on that end and at the end. Yeah.
Great. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah. Great. Walter, where did you go?
I got your back.
Let's try the first movement. We haven't done this yet. And Andrew, do you want to talk through anything that you'd like Walter to do, or listen?
We haven't done this with you yet.
No, we haven't. Yeah, we haven't done
maybe
this.
we'll do it once with Jessica, and then I'll see as we go along. I might have some ideas.
Great.
That's good.
And maybe I'll just I'll say the words that we're singing here. Again, these are Cree words, and Andrew mentioned Cheryl. We're singing also 3 pieces by Cheryl Suapigiham, who's coming from the Edmonton area for this concert, and 3 of her pieces. Two of which many of us sang out at the Leighton Arts Colony in September with the Wandering with Wonder program. Walter was involved in that. Walter, he was actually a white bear for that. So he was his name, which is amazing. Anyway, she can help us a little bit more with the Cree language, but as she says, she keeps learning, but her parents are speakers. So, Q&A is us, so an inclusive us. That includes you. It's not just us, yeah. And then, should I attempt this, Andrew?
Give it a try.
Okay. Wakemakas, I stumbled. Wakemakasikan, which is a smudge. And then Tapwe, which is it is so, or the idea of truth. It is so, truth. And then Pawatamawin, act of dreaming. And then Ispiciwin, which is journey. You'll hear that throughout the piece. So we'll start with you, Justin. what do you? It's fine if Jessica just plays as long as she can. We can hold on a little longer with the choir. Do you think?
I'm actually just thinking that she could, you could just maybe do that twice or 3 times. And then, I mean, this is one thing I noticed with the mask that's really a big difference. I think that the whispering could be quite substantial.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Because it's too faint. It would be perfect without the mask.
So maybe just more of it. Like it sounds like maybe you're all saying the word a couple times. If you said it faster,
Yeah.
would that do it too?
I think so. I think again, confidence or just like just because it's haunting, but I'd like to sort of like it's done with a little bit more, you know, like not that the audience will for sure get exactly what they're saying, but I like the effect because it's like again, I'm always about imagery, the smoke from the sacred fire or from the smudge. And I think the same thing could be said for the sigh, this little exhale at the end.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like the idea of like Jessica doing it at least 2 more times. Da, 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 da. That's maybe slower each time. And I think, Tim, that what I was thinking of is that we don't have to do it now, but once he finishes that, and once the whole thing is in, Walter, can you play in C minor on your flute? If you can't, that's fine, because I have another idea.
I actually can.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe like, because I'd like to, I mean, we don't have to go to transitions now, but just to give a heads up, like what I'd like to do is like right after that is have Walter come back in and noodle for a minute or so, just on the flute.
Yeah.
And then he can maybe,
Great.
you know, transpose into the next
I
year.
think we could try it.
We're trying that.
Why not?
Yep, I definitely.
Walter loves being put on the spot. Maybe we could take it from Jessica, where you come in. Why don't we? Let's start at 39. 39. So Jessica, don't worry about that ending, but then pick up the next one. Yeah. Okay, we'll take 39 and do the end, and then you can play the ending a couple times, and then segue into Walter.
Yeah, but what I really like is like they still holding the chord,
Aha.
and then Walter come in. I don't
Great.
That's,
Great. Yeah.
So what does that mean? Like R&B and then slow jazz?
Yeah.
Like this?
Yeah. So, what did I say? 39. 39, everyone. 39. Okay. Here's the downbeat and 1.
exactly.
What you have to know about Walter is like he's so humble about what he offers. It's quite amazing. You know, I want to say that one of the things we talked about, there were a lot of discussion. Zoom was a beautiful thing in some ways, that we could have many meetings last spring and summer talking about the possibilities, about what this could be. And we talked about one of the things is it's dialogue between oral and written tradition. So the important interplay, could we do a collaboration in this way? It's not just, we think we should, but it's also a question. So it's been a journey to discuss how we go about doing that and how do we create a space where that can happen. And this is like you just witnessed it, yeah? So that's a really, really important part of this piece that Andrew's woven in to give all of our collaborators, like, I don't want to speak for you, Jessica, but I mean, Jessica's classically trained on the flute, you know, has this part of her tradition. And Walter's, you know, has this wonderful oral tradition. Jessica has oral tradition. We all have that as well. But it's wonderful to have that dialogue going on, too.
You know, this is what I was constantly thinking, is that with the choral you can do this. You know, when we can ever get to this place orchestrally,
Yeah.
we could actually workshop. Can you imagine if we could do this with an orchestra?
Yeah.
You know, it's almost impossible now just because of the hierarchy and the unions and things like that. Then we can make real amazing orchestral music. But we can do this with choirs right now, and it's such a freedom. And to be able to workshop here in August,
Yeah.
you know, and because I have a relationship already with Jessica and Walter, and we're just the tip of the iceberg in terms of the talent in the Indigenous community here in this country, and particularly Alberta. So it's so exciting. Like this is just, like I said, that's what I mean. We've been relationship building, and this morning we had an incredible powerful morning. We spent about an hour, if not more, where everybody went around and acknowledged the land they were from, but also their lineage, where they come from. And that is relationship building. That's like sort of, again, you can't do that with orchestras or other organizations. You need, you know, it's so important in this particular time, just to ground ourselves in this crazy world and feel with music too. It's so incredible how powerful to be part of this.
Yeah, so just to say, just so it's clear, we actually use this same space.
Yeah.
It's sort of been our creative space in August. So the Luminous Voices had a conducting workshop. Some of you might have attended that concert we did at the conducting workshop, but we integrated as part of that workshop time with Andrew, for the choir to get to know Andrew, but also Jessica and Walter. So we shared music with one another. We sang and then played for one another. We shared who we were, and that was just starting to set the stage, but we also recorded it so that Andrew could, and played with the sounds in the room, and Andrew could try some things, some clusters and other ideas, fragments, and build a sound world that he could live in. So I don't know, what was that, how did that, you came back to that recording a number of times, right, Andrew?
Yeah, definitely. Like that was like, again, kind of a luxury to be, as a composer, to be able to go back, you know, just to listen to things. Every choir is different too. Every choir, even though they might even sing the same piece, like a woodland anthem or piece by pair, the same piece, but you can tell there's a different, certain textures, certain warmth, certain, you know, colors, depending on the country, certain vowels, you know, so it just really, but, you know, I have to say is that it's just a luxury to be able to, well, it's not a luxury. It's a pleasant surprise to be able to go back to recordings and workshops. And in the old days, which I hope has changed now because we're in the new days now, usually get a commission, the conductor gives you a deadline, you hand in by the deadline because you don't get a chance to work with the choir, and then it's a one-off. So, you know, to be able to really build towards something is a more rewarding creative process, I find. So it's really exciting.
Do you want to try anything else with this movement, Andrew? At the beginning?
There's one thing I wanted to try. I don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah.
The last page. Thematic.
Yeah.
And I know your choir can do it this way, right? I just wanted to try this. If we repeated that,
Mm-hmm.
but the second time, everybody take an octave up.
Cool.
You can do that. We never did that.
Whatever you do, don't think, okay? just try it, yeah? Don't let fear get in the way. Okay, let's try it just on measure 48 there, choir. 48, beat 3, okay? This is the first time, yeah. Oh, sorry, I gotta get in the right key. There we go. Yeah, here we go. Then I think we need more time. We'll take more time.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
It works well. Well done, choir.
Yeah.
Like it's I'm a former trumpet player, orchestral trumpet player, and for those of you who know the gig, you always have to transpose. Sometimes a fifth up, depending on the all the German repertoire, Bruckner, Mahler, Richard Strauss. It's all an F trumpet, but you're playing a C trumpet, so you're always having to transpose a fifth up or a fourth up sometimes. And they never really properly teach that at school. You have to just like it blows your mind, especially the original choristers.
Yeah.
The note is right there, but when you see a note and then you have to think, oh, I gotta go up a fourth, and sometimes it'll change in the trumpet part. So sometimes it's trumpet in F, and then suddenly it goes to trumpet in E flat, and so you have to so you don't realize that actually trumpet players, Jessica knows, trumpet players always have to transpose. But you have to transpose sometimes too, don't you?
Only on alto.
Alto.
I used to play in jazz band, so I read alto sax charts. Totally different key.
It's so good for your brain though, but sometimes it really fries it.
That's why you and Sam Whalen get along so well. Yeah.
I just noticed that this word that we were just singing, the second last syllable down at the bottom is an A.
Okay.
In the text.
Okay.
And
Hawatamawin. Yeah, instead of Molwin. Should we do it as Mawin there?
Yeah, good call. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Ma.
Yeah.
Good call. Although I'm gonna have to check that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one, but let's do Ma because I think it was I don't have my notebook. I think I have my notebook here.
And then, so choir, what we'll do is on that quarter rest, think of the quarter rest as a fermato. Yeah? Like the second time through. Yeah. Fermato there.
And then we go back down, then it's just, when we
And then
come
we
back
go back
in,
to
we just
as
go back
written,
to
yeah?
Okay.
Could we go, as you're checking that, Andrew, let's go back, and Jessica, let's take this from this passage where you have this wonderful dissonance with the choir. We're going to start at 23. We'll start at 23, and maybe you could join us right there at 23. But it's in particular in 28 where we're going to want a ton from you there. I know, it's different when it's amplified, but its intensity of the line, because it really bites against the choir, it's great. So this is 23, everybody, right on the G. Okay, it's in the middle of the quarter whole note there. 3, 4, 1. ended up on an F there, tenors, by accident. So just remember that you pick up the note that Jessica's playing there on the E flat. Yeah, great. Can we start, please? Maybe just right at 39. 39. Okay. C. There we are. Are we blaming the T2s? Yeah. And 1. I love that. Yeah. I had in mind. I was gonna tell the audience something, and I forget what it was. Oh no! I know what it is. Manitou. Manitou comes. This word Manitou.
Yeah.
And Andrew, anything you want to tell us about that?
Oh, it means so many things, and I guess it makes a lot to many people. To me, it means the creator. Before the idea of creation, the greater good was taken over by other forces. But I mean, it's hard to explain. There's no real, actually, program Cole's notes for this piece in terms of the text. It's sort of what came to me at the time. So, and I've always kind of referred to, in a lot of my pieces, Manitou. So it's kind of like even when you're, even as a writer, sometimes if I'm writing, I often seem to think that I go back to it just naturally. So, but I also like kind of like the fragmented, the da 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 da. Like again, it's just the way they sing it. It's very, and just hearing it for the flute for the first time. Going back to the horrible MIDI files and sounds that I have in my computer, I hate the flute. The bass flute one is brutal. But I knew I'd heard Jessica before, so I knew it was going to work out. But I kind of was cringing when I was listening to it, because I wrote this in a massive rush. I lost all my files in a computer crash, so it was like really had to scramble. But at the end, the second time I did it worked out better. So again, going back to Manitou, had a plan for this piece. So it means a little bit more now just listening to them sing it organically, which is so wonderful to be able to experience. It's only going to get more powerful as we go on.
Should we try a little bit of the second movement?
Oh, definitely. I wanted to sort of like,
Yeah.
because like this is another thing that I just a heads up for Jessica and Walter. We will start off the second movement with you. The second, like this whole piece with you two. Is that okay? And so for when you have your setup, your textbook setup, you'll be able to loop that as well, or do you feel more comfortable?
Yeah, I can bring that next time.
Okay, so because I like to start off with like an overture, I guess, for lack of a better word, just those two, and then you can start in any key you want, but if you end up at C minor, would be great.
Yeah.
But I think that, just to give you the heads up, like I think that's what I like to start, how to start off piece with just you two.
Just this, or
Whatever you
alto
feel
would
comfortable.
be
Alto would be great too.
I'll bring the alto.
Okay, so, but I mean, it would be. I don't know if you guys want to practice, go off more and work on something together, because I think it'd be amazing. But it would be. I'm looking at maybe 4 minutes or something where you can really, not just a quick filler, but substantially. I'd like to start off with you two, like 4 or 5 minutes even, like just to really take us to a space and then end in C minor, and then be perfect.
And we've decided we haven't worked these yet completely, but we're doing segues. In the first half of the concert, as I said, we're doing 4 pieces by Andrew, and then 3 pieces by Cheryl. And we're going to there'll be a set, so we're going to segue with some flute playing in between, so that it actually connects them together. So we're going to keep adding that as we go tomorrow as well, and Sunday.
But yeah, the second movement would be great.
Yeah, let's do it. There's a portion of this that we don't have yet ready for live, an audience, but that's okay.
Can I just say something before?
Yeah, let's stand, everybody, too. Yeah.
I was just going to say that it's really, Tim and I actually were discussing this earlier in the week, the importance of audience in choral music. And it's very easy to kind of be educational and just, this is about us and hey, it's nice that you're here kind of thing. But the reality is, or what I'm just thinking, and Andrew just suggested this idea that where this piece is now and where it's going to be a day and a half from now is probably quite different. And it's really special to us that you're playing witness to that in a bit, because one of the things about Luminous Voices is that we start working on a concert. Well, we all do work on our own first, but we come together on the Thursday night and you guys hear us on the Sunday. And somehow in that very short piece of time, we have this huge growth and change and learning, and every reiteration of it is based on the one before. And we don't even know what's happening. Well, you do probably, but the rest of us are just like, whoa, we're just going along and thinking and thinking and thinking. And it's really nice to have you marking that for us. And it's like, oh, this is what happened when the audience was here on Friday. And then we're going to get to Sunday and see the growth, the change of identity. We were talking today about identity and how all of the experiences we have continue to shape our identity. So thank you for the valuable part you play in the composition and creation and work of this piece, because you're helping to infuse and shape what will happen on Sunday. It's really great that you're here. We really value that. Thank you.
Thanks, Julie. Especially for assuming that I know what I'm doing.
Well, we like to keep that story going,
One word here, it's spider. That's the translation, spider. Asabikeshin. Asabikeshin. Spider. Okay, that's the one word. But there's a lot of vocables, and you'll hear a lot of vocables also in the music that Cheryl writes. Very much a part of traditional song. and traditional chant. This is we're going to say heya. But in my learning over the last little while, and Cheryl actually helped us with this, understanding that vocables and the chant actually is very much part of the song keeper. So there's oral tradition in chanting, and the vocables become a style of your own as a singer. And it's interesting how Andrew's taken also something that you'll hear in the first half of our concert and sort of pulled it apart into polyphony in using vocables and chant. It's fascinating. So this is the second movement, or portions of it. Yeah, good. Before we go on, as we get, when we get to that that accented short I'm wondering how to make that louder. I'm thinking maybe just a little longer. Is that what we need?
A quarter or even an eighth or quarter.
Yeah, let's take more of an eighth. You're really strong, so it sounds like a punctuation. Great.
But Tim, do you actually even want to do like a little slide off it? Yeah, that'd be better.
Yeah. So it's like an eighth slide, eighth in the slide, yeah? Good. Measure 29, just S2, it comes just a little sooner than you think probably too. And then you can hear the B natural from the tenors, right? Yeah. But you were fine for the... Not quite, we were... Yeah.
Never yet.
Can we try it with just the alto 1s and soprano 2s? This is measure 26, yeah? Measure 26. Okay, just the alto 1, soprano 2s. Ready? 2 and 4. Oh yeah, so one whole measure earlier, sorry. We're going to start at 26, okay? Measure 26. Again? 3, ah. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's excellent. And I'd say you could even accent at 29. Sa. So to really let it be heard there. You don't mind that, Andrew? Just let me know.
No.
Can we try that again? Just those two parts. I think it's worthwhile. And then we'll put it together. Yeah. 26. 2 and 4. Yeah. Great. It's just too legato. Just keep it more angular. Yeah. Great, have a seat. Andrew, can you just tell us the story you told us this morning, or was it last night? I can't remember. About Asabigishin. Just a little bit. I think the group here would like to hear some of that.
It's such a complex, like the idea of like spiders and like the spider women. There's many stories that I'm sure that Walter and Jessica know of them too, but I can't remember who told me. It was an elder. His name was David Hussein. He passed away actually just in December. And he's from Manitoba. He's a very amazing elder. And he was telling a bunch of people one time about just a vision he had about a spider, and he said, I mean, just like, oh yeah, a spider, that's cool. But he said they're really deep meanings of spiders. And I've always wanted to write about spiders. It comes to you in your dreams, and it's really very powerful. He said, I think it represented a nightmare in some instances, but that's why this is very funky. It's not usually my style. I like the there's a lot going on in here. It's a very difficult movement, and I just like I don't know, like this because I mentioned last night. When I'm in the summer when I'm writing, I have an actually opportunity to go to southern Manitoba in a place called New Bergtal, which is in about an hour south of Winnipeg, and I work in this barn that's been converted into our studio space. And it's about a village of 100 people, and some barns are actually are abandoned, so I like to walk around. And one time I was standing there watching this huge spider web, and just watching the spider just kind of like, almost like it was incredible to watch, because the sun was going down in the west, and it was going through a window, and just this spider, just like, there's no possible way for humans to capture the beauty and complexity of nature in any way, whether it's dance, words, sound. But watch this spider just like work meticulously through this web. It was hypnotic. It was literally hypnotic, and I was just, how does this do this? The little creature, this incredible creature making this web. And so the only way I can try to explain it is to try to through this. Going back to the nightmare too, because there's a nightmare element to this. And sure enough, that night I had a dream of a spider. It wasn't a nightmare, but it was just kind of pretty incredible. But I want to write a larger work about just particularly about the power of the spider and nightmares or something. I'm always like, I like dark subjects, and I like the idea of visions or nightmares. Because I have weird dreams. I have very weird dreams. Please don't analyze me for that.
No, not, but we know. Yeah. Let's try putting that together, please. This is measure 24. 24. Sorry. I'm getting myself confused with G-flats in these movements. Here we go. 24. 3 and 4.
oh, sabikashin, oh, sabikashin, oh.
Yeah. And I thought maybe in this section, I don't know, that because there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
That we could do something with these two.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
just sort of,
Yeah.
did I give you the score to this?
Yeah, I have
Okay.
it.
So like maybe if tonight you want to look at this, like if you,
Yeah,
if you want to
measuring.
measure 36.
Yeah.
Because we can vamp it as long and we can then. Because I did originally plan to have these two do something in there. That's why I left it open.
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
it could be just vamped as long.
And that's why we're bringing the octave into it too, right? So bringing, yeah. For now, let's we could let's go on to the
Oh yeah,
next.
no, definitely.
Yeah. So let's start at measure 40. Yeah, measure 40. Could you stand again, choir? I think it helps us on a Friday afternoon. Okay. 40. 40. G, 4. Great. Have a seat, choir. I think right from the beginning, T2s, and you could do more separation still, I think. So from the hey ah, hey ah, hey ah. So between each one, just a little lift, so we can hear that. And everybody else, sopranos and altos, same thing. Like measure 45, 46. Between your hey-ahs, just a little lift, so we can hear that polyphony. Otherwise, it's too much, a lot of sound. If you hear your breaths, we'll start to hear the different vocables between the different groups. Kind of ones I'm hearing you clearly. It's great. Yeah. Comments on this at all, Andrew?
Pardon me? Sorry?
Any comments on this?
Yeah, I would not to tenor ones on the hey section.
Yeah.
You cannot. You're the lead. You can't sing too softly. Like I think that it's not a solo per se, but you're the lead chanter in this. Everybody else is following. Everybody else is backing you up. So I would really like to hear you give her.
Yeah.
I know you got it in you, but you're the lead singer.
Scary stuff.
Never say that to tenors. I know.
Yeah, he's a trumpet player. He knows. Yeah. Same thing. Can we just try? We won't do all of this, but let's try it once again. 40, please. Measure 40. Yeah. Just seated is fine. And tenor ones. Show us what you got. And 1. It's starting to come out, yeah. I think you can bring a brighter sound to it. Yeah.
I think that my favorite actually, what's working so well is the bass entry on bar 41.
Yeah.
I think baritones you could give a little bit more like that. The bass is like you start the whole thing off, so don't be scared to bring it out because you start the whole thing off. I like the unison too. I just like the hey. It's really very powerful, but don't be too scared.
Yeah, more accents. Yeah. Just those first couple measures. 3, 4, and 1. That's better. Even more of that. Yeah, Benil?
I just wanted to ask at the end what dynamic do you want us to kind of be at?
Softer. No, I think as we tail off at different places from one another. So I think when you finish wherever you stop, it can be a piano to pianissimo. Yeah. But just think of tailing. It's not al diente, not to nothing, but. Great. Yeah, Jordan.
What are, like, when you arrive on the final fermata, those who do like a target dynamic for that moment or something?
Yeah, maybe we're mezzo piano, so we have still room to get softer. Yeah, we're getting close to the end. I'm thinking maybe we sing. We try Anthem for a Doomed Youth. Aaron, yeah. Well, not now. Yeah, no. We will tomorrow. So we're just going to transition just to end our afternoon. Thank you for coming, everybody. We're going to. This is again part of a larger work that Andrew wrote many years ago. Anthem for a Doomed Youth, which is a Wilfred Owen poem. Some of you might know the poetry from Benjamin Britten's War Requiem. And seems very fitting right now. We didn't, perceive how de rigueur it would be. Very powerful, very strong soprano melody to begin with. We've only just rehearsed it a little bit, but some of us sang it in August as well. So let's stand up, and we're going to end our time here today, right now, for this. You'll hear some similarities to what we've just sung for you in the style. Was there anything else? You feel okay about the trill sopranos? You're okay at the end of the day? Yeah, good.
It'll be shrill. There's the shrill
sound. We say it literally shrill. Sopranos sing this, and I said in the summer, it was a problem because they made it sound too beautiful and easy. I mean, it's just amazing soprano section. They sang these high B flats and descending, and it's like incredible. And then you say, problem is, it doesn't sound shrill enough. I'm confident they can do any which way and it'll work. Anthem for a Doomed Youth.
It's supposed to be shells.
Yeah. Good luck, everybody. Jessica Walter. Come on up here. It's Jessica Walter. Thanks, everybody. See you Sunday, hopefully. Thanks.
I figured that out now that I mentioned that first, wherever you
We got it, and Cheryl, she's actually gonna play drums. One of her people.
but we're gonna have like, that could be like, I definitely want drums, but we also talked